Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. Today's video, we're going to talk about the United States running out of cash. Now, the United States Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen stated that we will run out of cash by June 1st if we don't raise the debt ceiling. Now, the debt ceiling is pretty high. If I'm not mistaken, we're at $31 trillion. And they want to raise it again and or extend it or revise it. Sorry. So with all of that they want to do, guys, we are in this impossible situation right now where raising it is only going to delay the inevitable, which is the crash. And being that, guys, they keep extending it, they keep raising it. Again, they are the power that be. They are the elites, if you will. They can do whatever they want. They can keep this thing going forever because there will be no there will be a repercussion eventually. But they're trying to keep this house, if you will, afloat. Meanwhile, it's sinking, it's tearing apart, it's structurally damaged to the point where it needs to be taken down. Now, a depression here in the United States, like I said before, guys, will do nothing but cripple every person in this country, even the rich. Everybody will feel it because a depression, guys, a 2.0 depression, if you want to call it that, is devastating. It's a cataclysmic event that will be felt around the world. So if we crash, guys, the rest of the world crashes. If China crashes, the rest of the world crashes. So it affects us all the same, and it affects everyone just about the same. Maybe that's why Russia, China, the Brick Pact, if you will, are shoring everything up to make sure that they don't feel it when this does collapse for us, because we are headed down that road. Now, the debt ceiling here in the United States has been revised, extended, and raised 78 times since 1960. So this will be 79, and I'm pretty sure that it'll be an 80th time. But at some point, guys, this is going to collapse. It has to. The inevitable has to happen. Now, granted, a lot of us, including myself, thought that we were going to face a depression a lot sooner. But seemingly, they keep keeping it afloat by miracles and band-aids that we're going to see it in our lifetime. That is without a doubt. As far as when, who knows? Now, people are saying 2025, some people are saying 2030, and some people are saying next year. Who knows at this point? No one really knows. There have been economists that said the same thing I said, that they were surprised that we haven't faced anything sooner. Now, again, like I said before about the depression, we do not want a depression to happen, but we are headed down that road, and unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it once we go down that road. We're already headed down that road. When we hit Depressionville, that's going to be when it all falls apart. And I'll say it again, guys, we need to be prepared for that. We're going to see that way before we see the zombie apocalypse or anything crazy like that. We need to be ready for the financial crash. Again, that's getting our shit together. Now, preppers are doing so. They're building communities. They're getting their food stockpile together. Some guys are buying farms so that they can raise animals when this happens so that they don't have to rely on the system and outside of the system. Guys are getting their security together. There's a lot of things going on in the prepper community that they're getting ready for this. That's why I felt like the Chinese, Russians, or the Brick Pact were doing the same thing, getting ready for this. Politicians, economists, they're getting ready for it. I don't know how and exactly how they're doing it, but I know that they're getting ready for it because they know something bad is coming. And again, guys, a depression is that bad. It's that cataclysmic event that I talked about for a few years. Again, I just don't know when it's going to happen. I wish I could tell people on this day, such and such will crash. We don't know. Shit, guys, it can crash this week. It can crash 5 years from now. We don't know. Any prepper who's telling you exactly when it's going to happen, like I said before, it's full of shit. We can only guess when it's going to happen. But nonetheless, we have to be ready. We can't be hemming and hawing like, oh, well, you know, it's not going to happen yet. We got a couple years. No, we don't. No, we don't. With the economy, we don't know when it's going to crash. Anything else, yeah, we got time. The World Economic Forum and their bullshit, the 2030 agenda and then the 2050 agenda, we got time. But the economy crashing soon, we don't know. We just don't know. Hell, guys, next year, there could be another pandemic. There could be another pandemic just as bad or worse than COVID happening next year. or 5 years from now, or 20 years from now. We don't know. That's why we have to be ready. But being psychologically ready, guys, is more important, because when it hits, whether it's another pandemic or it's a financial collapse, we need to be ready regardless, because we don't want to be taken by surprise. And we don't want to sit there when it collapses and go, what do I do next? I got all this food, but I mentally can't take it. Oh, and then you eat a bullet. That's not why we prepare. If you're preparing with food, water, and supplies, guys, you have to be prepared mentally. And I like to add physically as well. That's a different video for a different day. But definitely prepare, guys, physically, mentally, and supply-wise. Mentally is number one, because again, guys, if it gets that bad, and I promise you that if we go through a depression, it's going to be nothing short of a nightmare. That is a promise. It's not, it's not fantasy. I'm not telling you some shit that's a lie. It's a promise. A depression in 2020, whatever, with all of these people in this country, with way less money to give around, to give out to people, there's going to be a lot more tent cities all over the country. There's going to be a lot more prostitution, way more drinking, a lot more drugs, a lot more robberies. Crime is going to skyrocket out of control on all levels. It's going to be bad, guys. And like I said, that is the one thing I can promise, that it's going to be nothing short of a nightmare. Anyway, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching.